Hello and welcome to Mee Gindys.
Well, this week we're wondering about lots of different things, including place names around the island, why are places called the things that they are, and the beautiful game.
I wonder, is it beautiful? And do we need to actually like it or not? I'm also going to test you with an orange and some baking soda.
Can't wait.
I bet you can't.
I think we should probably get the beautiful game one out of the way first, to be honest.
Just get it out of the way, full stop.
I'm still recovering. It was obviously a very late night.
Yeah.
And all the children were awake very late.
Yeah.
And it possibly wasn't the end that we were hoping for. They did amazingly well, but...
All that way and no potatoes, as they say.
But you know what? I mean, second is brilliant, isn't it? What was it you used to say in school? First the worst, second the best.
They used to say it's not the winning, the competing which counts.
Yeah.
It's the taking part. Mm-hmm. But we've forgotten that, you see.
We have
Once you get up
that.
to this sort of level, I don't know what they do at half time. They don't stand around and just have half oranges. We've got half orange today, but they don't do that anymore. And they seem to take it so seriously. My feeling is there's too much money involved in the whole thing. And it's ruined it.
I mean, there is something to be said in that, I think.
Back in 1966, I dare say they were probably fairly wealthy, but I mean, some of the players were probably getting £38 a week, and now they get like £200,000 a month.
It's hard to justify that, especially in the current climate when you see the amazing work that other people do, and I totally get that. But we do have to agree to disagree, I think, on our enjoyment of the game.
It's not that. See, for me, it's very straightforward in that, like I said, I reckon I come from that generation where if you weren't gifted or liked football as a kid, you were left a lot of lifelong hatred of it because I was forced to play football through school, school years. You were expected as a boy that you were going to be football mad and love football and play football. And that was it, really, just in the way that girls were obviously going to play with dollies and have nothing to do with football. That was the assumption, back in the sort of 60s and before that, no doubt. So, yeah, I had to play football throughout, whether I wanted to or not, even when it became obvious later on in life that I had no talent, latent or otherwise, for the game whatsoever and didn't really like it. I still had to play football. And you'd have the ritual humiliation of the team picking exercise where the really good kids who were the captains of the team would pick out the team from the rest of the class and you would be left standing there at the end with some poor lad who was in a wheelchair and another chap who couldn't see and another kid who sort of only had one leg, and there'd be me and another friend who again couldn't kick a football to save his life. And we've got to have you get in goal, get in the fullback or something. You were just sort of stuck somewhere where you do the least damage and forgotten about. And if the ball came to you, hopefully, if you were in the goal, you'd just try and get something in the way. And if it was your face, it would really hurt. And if you were a fullback, you were usually told, if it comes your way, just kick it the opposite way. Mm. So it was just a humiliation and embarrassment for me, and it's left me with a lifelong disinterest, hatred of the game, which, again, when you see big matches like this, I think it's amplified by the fact when you see the antics of some of the... and I know it's only probably a tiny minority, but you see an awful lot of the footage, and I just think it's basically just an excuse to get absolutely bladdered and misbehave.
I think possibly for some people you're right, and there's a whole other conversation I suppose we could have about that. But I don't think enjoyment of something like the Euros and getting behind a team is about anybody's skill, because honestly, I'm not a footballer myself. I've obviously got sons who play football and they absolutely love it. And it's interesting, they've got this passion for football despite the fact that I've never really followed a team particularly. Their dad is not into football at all. He supports Middlesbrough because he went to university there, not because he's got any great passion for football himself. But there is just something about it which brings people together and unites people, particularly, hopefully, if you can get behind the same team. And maybe it's because the past year and a half has been so difficult. Maybe we just needed something, just to lift us. But I've really enjoyed watching the Euros. I mean, I wouldn't go and watch a football match. As I say, I don't follow a particular team. We've got two different teams that have supported in our house by the boys. But I have really enjoyed seeing it. I think it's just, I don't know, it has just brought something to our lives, I think, in some way that you can get behind. And it's not, I haven't just watched the England games. I've watched pretty much most of them. And I've enjoyed it. And I don't think you have to be really good at something to enjoy doing it.
Well, there's no answer to that. I mean,
good for you.
You're proof positive. Healthy sons. And okay, I wonder then what we did during the match.
I wonder what we did. How different were our evenings?
Okay, well, let's find out.
So I don't know what Howard's doing right now, but I imagine he's sitting listening to some lovely music with a glass of wine in the garden. We're just waiting for the England match to start. Ben, how are you feeling?
Nervous.
Bit tense, bit tense. So everyone, I was talking to someone today who didn't get what it was about watching the England match and thought it was a bit of a waste of time. Is it a waste of time watching the England match, Max?
No. If we lose, yeah.
No, it's not.
If we lose, then I want my money back.
Ben, don't be a
My time.
Did you see the article in the BBC this week about what we can all learn from?
I feel a bit tense. Feel a bit tense.
Diverse thinking. Diverse. I really like. It's the
It's not really the Pope.
No, it's not. No. It's the man dressed as the
Oh.
No, it's the Pope.
That's how they...
Oh, they deliver the ball in a little car.
Yeah, they deliver.
That's the best thing I've ever seen.
Absolute.
He's got a TikTok account as well. It's called the Little Euro Car.
That is brilliant. Has that happened with every single match? No.
No.
It's going to be a goal to England within the first 3 minutes.
In the first 20 minutes, I said Sterling's going to be.
Oh, God.
3 minutes, I reckon.
I almost want to go to sleep and wake me up when it's done.
Straight away, early goal.
I'm ready.
Anyone? Max, Chris?
Don't pass to Pickford. No!
back.
He's gonna.
Pickford's in green.
He's just gonna smash it.
Pickford's in green.
I can't believe I missed the little car with the ball at every start of the match. Wow.
Yes.
Was it driven by little Pixie? That's what I wanted to know, really.
I did wonder about that. So that was the beginning of the match.
That was the beginning of the match. Can you feel the palpable tension in the air? We had a house full, which is good. We had a whole host of snacks, so our evening was all set. But yeah, genuinely, for some of the matches, the one that England played against Denmark, I was so tense in the second half that I actually couldn't sit down and watch it. I went and cleaned the garden. I changed all the sheets on the bed. I emptied all the bins. I was just like, I cannot sit and watch this. It was too much.
I thought the two best comments there were one from, I think it was Sunderland number 2, was it? And he said, do you think, is it worth watching? He says, well, if they lose, yeah, it's probably, it's not worth watching if they do lose. And then, was it you who sort of said, yeah, I'm boring now?
That wasn't me. I think that was Holly.
Was it? Someone said, I'm bored now.
No, that wasn't me.
Okay.
That would have been Holly, I think.
Well, that was it. Well, that was the
start of our evening.
That was the start of the match.
What were you doing then?
So what was I up to then? Just coming up towards 8 o'clock, Sunday evening. And there is some good news. It has stopped raining. Which means I might well have time to hoover the car before it gets dark. Or something. It is looking a bit grubby at the back, so I think it'd be quite a useful thing to do. And I have to say, it is beautifully quiet at the back for some reason. A curious lack of traffic on the road. Or indeed of anything. You get the impression of millions of people sat, shouting at a television somewhere, or will be very shortly. So I'm going to be one of the privileged few who won't be. I have a suspicion we'll be in the minority. But I'm going to do something. Yeah, I think I'll go and finish hoovering the car at the back. I did start it the other day. And then there's a bit of weeding, and I could do a bit of watering around the garden, a bit of watering in the greenhouse, and down the sweet peas and potatoes. Wonderful. And a glass of wine. What could be better? I suppose I could be bouncing up and down on the sofa, painting my face white with red stripes, wearing a silly hat, pouring beer over people, doing a lot of shouting, pointing lasers in people's faces, that sort of thing. But no, I think I'll stick with the hoovering. Right, off we go then.
Watch Benucci and Chili.
Oh no! Oh.
Wait, you shut that out.
Get it out!
Beautiful.
Oh!
Marty, what?
Hey!
Slow it down.
Oops!
Get it
Bad!
out.
Just go!
Lovely.
Nice.
Great. Great counter. Come on, England. Oh, look at that.
Oh, go on.
In the middle.
In the mixer, son.
Put it down. Come on, it's ready.
Off.
Go on.
Was someone hurt there? Was that someone in pain? No?
That is what you call excitement, Howard.
Okay. Did you say so? Excitement. Oh, right. Okay.
There's going to be some fighting tonight.
Oh, God.
Pickford has to save this, otherwise it's all over.
Just tell you, I've been here since 1996.
Look at his man.
It's all over, everybody. Just saying. Just saying. That's it.
Come on, Pickford. You've been a hero.
We're done. It's over.
Stand your line, Pickford. He's going to go down the middle. He's going to play easy because they've got the advantage. Stand your line, Pickford. Stay still. He's going to go right down the middle.
No, it's going left.
He's going down the middle.
Someone's been out again. What's happened? Come
That's
on.
one of the penalties that was saved.
Something was saved.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
gosh.
when it got to the final penalty, which unfortunately didn't go England's way, I don't think we could use the recording.
That good, eh? This is what I mean. I mean, is this fun? So is this actually good for the soul, good for the mind or whatever, to have this sort of apparent, well, I say roller coaster, but it's sort of, the thing I don't get, it's almost hysteria at
No, but the
times.
thing is,
it's
right,
like sort of,
no,
and I wouldn't say
no.
mass hysteria because there weren't enough people in
Yeah.
your house, I don't think. You certainly look at Wembley and you think, yeah, it's sort of
But
mass
you know,
hysteria. And it's like sort of mini hysteria in your house.
Yeah, there was mini hysteria, and I accept that. And but just sometimes it is a release, isn't it? And I think you would probably be one of those people who's fairly constant most of the time, a little bit grumpier than others
Yes.
on some days.
Most
but
days.
you
Most
don't
days,
have
to be fair.
those extremes of emotions. And I think actually sometimes that that would be a great thing. Other people are more roller coaster like maybe, and it was just one of those things. And it was late at night, everybody was tired.
Okay.
Literally everybody was tired, and it did get a little bit emotional, and I'm not apologising for that.
You don't need to apologise. Well, I did sort of get the ending in, so I didn't see the match was out and about, but I did actually get the result in the end.
Oh, did you?
Well, that was wonderful. Sky at night is the life on Mars. Thoroughly enjoyed that. What's happening? It's going on holiday again. Oh, well, never mind. Sky at Night was good, though. I recommend it if you want to watch it on iPlayer. If you're stuck watching the football. It was actually a good programme.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
You must have been one of the only people watching it.
I know, again, I accept, and I know I have to accept that I am in the minority. I can't get around that whichever way I look at it. I mentioned it yesterday on late lunch, I think, and it was someone came and said, "Oh, I'm glad it's not just me," because they went and did the ironing, did some gardening or something as well. I think, and as you say, it is that exactly what you mentioned there. I reckon there's a sort of gene where I can't ever remember getting that excited like we witnessed there about anything. Mm. It's just that. I think there's a gene missing.
I'm just leaving it there.
Each to their own. That's the answer, I think.
Each to their own. Well, this is Mee Gindys here on Manx Radio, and we are always grateful for any suggestions of ideas, things that you might have wondered about out and about around the Isle of Man. And sometimes our ideas literally come from walking around places and seeing things and thinking, oh, I wonder what that's all about. And sometimes we find that those things are just on our doorstep.
Right, out and about. Now, this was something you were talking about. Your local patch, of course, and a question of, well, you can describe.
Yeah, this is obviously one of our main stays in Mee Gindys, is wondering about why places are called what they are. And this is a very familiar spot to many people here in Peel, but you might know it by two different names. So there's either Weatherglass Corner or spit corner. And we were just chatting. I'm like, well, I wonder why it's called spit corner. I don't know, but you know what?
You know a man who does.
A man who does. And he's sitting here on this bench. Good morning to Roy Baker. How are you?
Good morning, I'm right enough, yeah.
Yeah.
Right up.
So what do you call it? Spit corner or weatherglass corner?
I call it weatherglass corner, unless I've got a lot of drink in me.
Well,
So do you know anything about the origins of the name?
I do. Well, first of all, I'll describe a couple of little things.
Yeah.
This corner where we are now was with the two jutting walls on it. That was created not too many years ago. I would certainly say maybe 25 years ago. Before that, we look here. This corner wasn't as round as what it is.
Okay.
It came in a level line straight out to somewhere around about here.
So it was more of a corner rather than a curve.
Yeah, that's right. And the seat, there was no seats here on the curve, and because there was a wall surrounding here, where the other seat is there was...
Oh, you did that on purpose. That was nice, wasn't
I think
it?
you did. Isn't he lovely? Don't you love bikers?
Yeah. There was a public loo there. A bit further on there was a shop, but there was a bench, a straight bench where all the men used to sit. And if they wanted to talk to the guy on the end, it was leaning right forward to see him. And the story is, like for generations, these men would sit on this bench and see how far they could spit across the road.
I wonder if that's one of our next challenges, H.
Yeah,
You go first.
So, or maybe if it was a windy day, you'd get your own back.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Is this live?
No,
Don't worry. I can tell some filth then.
Yeah. As long as you trust us to edit it out
recorded
afterwards.
filth, it's absolutely fine.
No, I haven't got anything like that. So the old boys would all sit there. My father was one in the 60s. He
And
would
was
be
it
sat
were
there.
they like a fishing origin, or was it just
Anything.
anybody, just Peel?
Anybody, just
Yeah.
Peel fellas.
Right.
Although my father wasn't a Peel fella originally, he came from Salford. They all used to meet here because the pubs weren't open on a Sunday, so they had to have somewhere to go. But I think the proper way to historians, some very well-known historians, this here is a spit. Originally, it would be just a sandbank, really.
So we're just looking towards the castle, and just at the end there where the little lighthouse is, right? Okay.
So this would be a sandbank, a spit, which that's what it is.
Sure.
And if you look into geography, I suppose, geographically, most communities were always on the coast because that's where the food was. And with having a spit, they were built around this spit. So that is why this is Spit Corner, because of a spit of land.
That makes much more sense. But I do like the first story, though.
I was going to say the first one sounds much better.
Hey, there'll be some truth in that.
Well, there might well be, yeah. Especially on a windy day, getting your own back.
So then, Weatherglass Corner.
Weatherglass Corners is because of this.
Wandering around, and you go to the wooden box which is set into the stone here.
With a weatherglass in it. By the way, needs a bit of a cleaning.
Did you bring your cloth?
No, I do have a key for it. Somewhere.
So who put this here?
Right, the original one, which was in the wall further out, got stolen. The glass was smashed and it got stolen, and it was found in the harbour.
Oh.
I can't tell you who it was, but I do know.
Yes. Leave that one alone.
Yeah. This weatherglass is what we had. Myself and a friend were chatting. Wouldn't it be good to get it back? And the guys who were building the bridge here, for the life of me, I can't remember who it was now, but we approached them and asked them would they sponsor a new one. They says, no problem. Get what you want and just give us the bill, whatever it is. So I tried my best to get one from the Isle of Man, buy locally. Mm-hmm. Wasn't doing. So I managed to get this one from Ireland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and
So this went in 2005, is that?
it would be something like that, yeah. It needs a good cleaning.
So that's 2005. When did the original one go in? Was that?
Oh my golly, it's up here. It's up here.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh, I've never noticed that before.
I have.
Yeah, it was a Board of Trade.
Oh.
You need good eyes. You need good eyes.
I can't really make
I
that
think
out.
if you took a rubbing of it,
Yeah.
you would get it.
Right,
Yeah.
bring your wax crayons down next time,
Okay.
H.
Yeah,
Okay.
your colouring
I
book.
can't- I can see something, but I can't make out the date on it. No.
Yeah,
That's
there
a
is
clue.
the quiet things, and there's the plaque here. We have like this in Gaelic. I'm sure you can all read that.
Beth can.
This is what it means.
So it's really become a place of reflection, I suppose.
It has, especially with this other one we got.
So this is another sign that's on the wall that reads, in memory of the crew of the PL-11 Wanderer who gallantly saved the lives of more than 150 passengers off the RMS Lusitania on May the 7th, 1915. And then it names them William Ball, skipper, Stanley Ball, Harry Castaigne, William Gill, John MacDonald, Robert Watterson and Thomas Woods. And that was donated by Manx Memorials, which is lovely, isn't it? So the weather glass here donated, I think it was Island Drainage was one of them, and then the Downey family.
That's them, the Downies. That's
Yeah.
them.
How lovely.
It is terrific, and yeah, I mean, I've never seen that plaque above. You drive past these places, and this is the whole.
Well, you really wouldn't look, would you?
No.
You wouldn't look.
And I think that's the great thing, and I think that's part of what you were saying at the beginning of with this programme. And Tammy Gindys and I wonder. I mean, here's something which you've lived in Peel for ages. I've known Peel since I was born, and yet there are certain things you've driven past 1 billion times, and you never actually notice half these things.
I bet there are a whole load of other things around Peel that Roy would be able to tell us about.
Well, yeah. I suppose I could do, right? Yeah. Not when I got a drink in me.
So the question is, are you going to test out the spitting across the road?
I'm game if you are. Actually, what I need is a target, so if you can just cross the road first.
Right. Okay. I'll head in that direction, and then you give it your best shot. Well, very nice it was too. Got me right in the face, thank you.
That's all right. Okay, challenge time here on Tammy Gindys, and in front of me I have an orange which has been cut into segments, and I think, what is that, some baking powder?
Yeah, so this is it's just a little scientific thing. We try and these different things, base and acids, whatever. In essence, I wonder, can you make your own sort of version of popping candy, a healthy version from an orange, and a bit of baking powder?
Okay, so what am I going to do?
You get your bit of orange,
right,
and then we're going to dip it into the whatnot.
Dip it into the. Okay, dip it into the baking powder.
And then take.
Really? And then just eat it?
And so it goes.
I've got loads on there. Is that too much?
Oh, shake a little bit off if you want.
Right.
That's fine. No, not too much. There you are. And you could bite at that now.
Oh. That's not very nice. Oh.
Did you get too much?
I got far too much. That was all powder and no orange.
Well, you've got to get the orange with it. You've got to get the acid and the base together, and you get that.
Ugh. I don't like it. Oh, that is horrible.
If only I brought the camera.
Ugh.
Oh dear. Right. Okay.
Oh.
I'll let you have the orange with that. You should get the fizz.
Oh, God. There's
Honestly.
no fizz there. That was just disgusting. Right. Let's go to
you
the
enjoyed that?
archives. Oh.
Okay, here we go.
Last week we had The Wonderful World of Man cassette tape, which we started. And we were so intrigued. We're going to hear a little bit more this week.
Push the button.
That is horrible.
The Isle of Man means many different things for many different people. As well as the sea and the sand, kippers and Manx cats. How did you get in here, Puss? Go along with you. Early in the year comes the thrill of the TT. The sound of the bikes going down Bray Hill reminds us of some of the great names in motorcycling.
Tell you what.
I am loving this. It's from 1975.
It's a great voice, isn't it? I'm really enjoying that. Might even dig out some more. Okay, that's it.
Bye.
See you next week.